Well, the Giants rolled into Philadelphia hot, and the Phillies were coming off one of their toughest losses of the season on Sunday, but oh, how things have changed in this historic city. Now the Phillies have been answering the bell, and they will play one more this afternoon. 75 degrees today, Thursday afternoon baseball. It's MLB Live on Facebook Watch in Pennsylvania for the San Francisco Giants and the Philadelphia Phillies. And hello everyone, Scott Braun with you. The rest of the broadcast team will join me shortly. The Phillies have won all 3 games in the series thus far, outscoring the Giants 26-5. If you want to talk about it, we're here for you. Let's interact. Questions and comments, we will address them throughout the broadcast. Also on our guest list, San Francisco Giants manager Bruce Bochy, Rick Kranitz, the pitching coach of the Phillies, and also Aaron Nola, who pitched great the other day for the Phillies, is scheduled to join us. Some key points for you to know if you're new to the social broadcast. Here on Facebook Watch, you can talk to us throughout the game. We want to hear from you. Join the conversation in the comments. If you want to watch the game just with fellow Giants or Phillies fans, you can join the fan groups. And if you want to swipe away the comments and the reactions, you can do that on your mobile device using your finger. Just swipe right, or if you're on your computer, just press quiet mode. We also make sure each team is covered with a representative. So let's introduce my teammates in the booth today, starting with Ben Davis, a catcher in the majors for 7 years with the Padres, the Mariners, and the White Sox. But he grew up near Veterans Stadium and knows everything about the Phillies. He's on the call for many Phillies TV games throughout the season. And we've been hearing Javier Lopez on the Giants broadcasts this week. 4-time World Series champion, 7 seasons with the San Francisco Giants, a 2.47 ERA and 446 appearances with them. He was on the 2010, 2012, and 2014 World Series champion San Francisco Giants. Javi, where are the rings? Do you bring them with you?
No, don't get through security around here.
That's right. Things are tight here. But for San Francisco, they've been outscored 26-5. Where have things gone wrong?
Well, it's been a tale of two cities, really, when you think about it. Atlanta, so hot team. They score 24 runs. They come here. They've only been able to score 5, and you got to give a lot of credit to the Phillies. Eflin started it off, but what really is quite surprising is the amount of strikeouts. That game, that was 12 punch-outs. Nola comes out and gets his 12, plus the bullpen strikes out another 5, so that's 17. And then you get last night, you get 11 from Pavetta and the rest of that staff. So the swings and misses a little bit alarming. That's something you did not see in Atlanta, and they're hoping that the tie block can put them back in the right track here before they finish up in Pittsburgh.
The Phillies have been clicking on all cylinders. You look at the Giants, though, offensively in the last 19 games. The previous 16, they were putting up 5.6 runs per game. In the last 3, they're a shade under 2 runs per contest. So give credit to the Phillies pitching, but also give credit to the Phillies offense, pouring it on so far. Second best home team in Major League Baseball right now. And the real question, the leader right now of the offense, Odubel Herrera, is will he ever not reach base in a game again, Ben?
He's finding a myriad of ways to get on base, whether that be a hit by pitch, a walk. He is doing it all for the Philadelphia Phillies right now. Up to 38 games, he has reached base safely. He's done it with the long ball as well. He's not big in stature, but the little guy has some pop. He's a strong kid, and the ball is jumping off his bat. He said, basically, I'm just trying to see the ball and put a good swing on it. He has been really, really good, and he's obviously seeing it really well right now.
And he's taking his walks, too. First at-bat yesterday was a walk, and he has 3 free passes from yesterday's game. So we'll see the Phillies in the bottom half, but let's start with the Giants.
We got
9.
Blanco at the top. He's been okay for the Giants, but really a lot of these bats have been cooled off. Crawford's been swinging okay. Evan Longoria, couple doubles in this series. Brandon Belt has been hot. Need to stay away from him. See if he can climb at the top. Nick Hundley doing the catching duties for Buster Posey, who has the day off. The Panda is at first base. Alan Hansen at second. Gorkis Hernandez, who's been pretty hot for the Giants. And then Ty Block, who is a good hitting pitcher himself, rounding off.
Same can be said about Vince Velasquez, but we'll see him on the mound first. 6'3", 205 pounds. He's still just 25 years old, Javi, and he brings heat.
He does. That's the one thing that you are knowing you're going to get when you're facing a guy like this. We were speaking with Gabe Kapler before the game, and you could see it when you look at video of this guy. He could just pitch with a fastball if he wanted to. He's able to spot it up pretty well. The one thing that you want to see him is just be a little more efficient. That's the one thing that you've noticed that at most of his starts. He's been able to get into the 6th a few times, but he hasn't done it recently. And it's just being able to, once you're ahead in the zone and getting strikes, you want to finish him off, but you want to do it quicker than he seems to be doing it. But it's explosive stuff. And he talked about another pitcher that can hit. This guy can swing it right now, hitting 364 going into this game.
And he's working with a pretty consistent defense behind him. We're used to this group at this point.
Yes, we are. And Jorge Alfaro is really the general back there. He's been very good with his pitching staff. Carlos Santana plays at Gold Glove caliber first base. Sazer at second. Scott Kingery getting his reps at shortstop with J.P. Crawford on the shelf. Michael Franco, I think one day will indeed win a Gold Glove. Reese Hoskins in left. Odubel Herrera. And to round it out, Aaron Altair in right field, who is, in my opinion, one of the most graceful outfielders there is.
And there's Velasquez, season number 4, acquired by the Phillies in the Ken Giles trade. I spoke to Larry Boa, who works with the team, and he said Velasquez has matured mentally more than anything else heading into this season.
Yeah, I could see that. Again, the more reps you get at the big league level, the better off you're going to be. And it's just a matter of now developing into more of a pitcher. And you saw it a couple nights ago with Aaron Nola. You know, he's a 2-pitch guy, good fastball location. Now he's mixed in the changeup over the last year and a half, and that's the one thing you want to see out of Velasquez now. He's with Kranitz, he's got a nasty change split. You want to see that come into play a little bit more. That makes the fastball just even nastier. And it's always, you always add, you never subtract when you get to the big league level. And I think that's the one thing that shows the maturity of a pitcher, the ability to do that.
He was strong last time out against the Nationals on Saturday. He beat them with 5 innings of 1-run baseball, just 1 hit allowed.
Yeah, he's got the stuff. He's got swing and miss stuff. It's yeah, you never know what you're going to get out of the guy. I mean, the backing him up, the runs against haven't been all that pretty the last few starts. But when you watch his stuff, he's gotten 3 real good looks at how to pitch a lineup. From 3 guys that are basically throwing it just like he is. So the Giants shouldn't be surprised, and neither should Velasquez at this point.
His career 13-18 with a 4.54 ERA. He has the goods. It's just a matter of him toning it down, taking a breath, and pitching to contact.
Since his changeup shows signs of plus potential, would you call for more of them if you were catching him?
I would, absolutely. And then we were talking with Cap. I said, selfishly, I want to see him throw more change-ups because it can be good. It always seems to be down in the zone. You're going to get outs with it.
Opposing hitters are just 143 against his changeup. And Gregor Blanco will start the day for the Giants. MLB Live on Facebook Watch. Great to have you all. Scott Braun, Javi Lopez, and Ben Davis. Alexa Datt will join us soon. And Gregor Blanco fouls the first pitch back. 71 degrees. Tarp was on the field probably about an hour ago, but we're all clear for now. This is the 11th start in the leadoff spot for Blanco this season. And he sends the first pitch to deep right center field. Altair looking back, and it's gone. Gregor Blanco on the second pitch of the afternoon puts the Giants up 1-0.
Not where Alfaro was set up. There's a reach back across his body to get this one, and well, he never actually has to reach it. It ends up in the seats.
That was a great swing put on by Gregor there. He they had a shot at Kutch in the dugout, taking a day off. Blanco's getting the start out there and right. And I think the Giants are just excited that they could finally push one across the board in the first. There's the fastball. You know you're going to get it. You're going to get a lot of them from him, but that's a middle, and that's a pitch that most hitters are going to want to see. The Giants have been missing a lot of them the last few nights, but not there.
Strikeout issues for the Giants in this series. Blanco with his 5th career leadoff home run, his first of the season. And now it's Brandon Crawford.
It's his 5th career leadoff home run, just a couple behind Ricky Henderson.
Just a couple, just a few. Yeah. So the Phillies have been pushing for Velasquez to use the 4-seam fastball up in the zone, and Javi, it just wasn't far enough up in the zone.
Well, that first inning's tough to get your command down. You're trying to find your release point, your arm slot. But as you can see here now, he's basically working that outside corner, not getting the calls right now. 3-0 count going, but he's trying to get that fastball location down to set up the other stuff.
And he misses on 4 consecutive pitches to Crawford. And that'll bring up Evan Longoria. Seven home runs given up by Vincent Velasquez this season, 5 of them at home and 2 on the road.
Lefties have been real good against him. 305 as compared to righties hitting just 196.
And that's 5 straight misses.
You kind of saw this last night from both the Giants and the Phillies out of the bullpen. They're missing arm side. A lot of fastballs going up and in to righties or up and away to lefties. Just got to change the sight lines. I think Alfaro will probably try to stay a little bit more in the center of the plate. Try to get him back over it.
If you missed arm side, Javi, what was the one thing that got you back on track?
It was usually that kind of conversation, more eye contact with the catcher, being able to just change my sight line, whether it was me sliding over just a couple inches on the rubber or something like that. Give my ball more chance over the plate. And trust the stuff, but sometimes it's easy how your mind games start going when you're not throwing strikes.
That's huge pitch for Vince, and the fact that he can get back in counts with a breaking ball just to get hitters off that fastball.
Yeah, you've seen it from these Phillies starters. They've been able to go and hitters counts, double, triple up on off-speed stuff. Really kept the Giants off balance really, really well these last 3 days.
1-1 to Longoria. Yeah, yesterday 7 walks from Giants pitching, and 6 of those base runners scored. Softly in the air to left. It's Kingery making the call. Franco was deking as well. Yeah. About 10 feet in front of him.
Those are the ones he needs to go back and get. That bumps up the fielding percentage.
Yeah.
Help you get that Gold Glove.
Is that just for fun, or are you trying to fake someone out?
No, he just does it for fun. Carlos Santana will do it at times.
Kingery's a talent. He's a young kid, 23. Minor league player, organizational player of the year. I don't know, minor league Gold Glover. I didn't even know they handed those out, but he has a couple of them.
And that shift is on against Belt.
It's so standard nowadays when you face Brandon Belt and a lot of guys nowadays. The numbers are taking over, and it'll play mind games with these hitters too. All of a sudden you try to change your swing, change your thought process at the plate. But Belt's been riding a pretty good hot streak right now. He's got his own on-base streak, not quite like Herrera's, but he's been seeing the ball well the last couple weeks.
21 games. It's second best in baseball right now. And the 1-0 is sent to left. Hoskins, a few steps to his right. Out number 2.
And you see it right there, fastball, hitter's count, comes with the breaking ball. Belt's looking one spot only, ends up flipping at that breaking ball, legs are out of that swing, and he's just able to flip it to left. You look at the curveball again right there, splits the plate, good action on it, good bite, good tilt. Not much you can do with that. Vasquez seems to have found that arm slot.
And don't be surprised if the crowd noise is more of a scream compared to a yell on a day like today, because Kids Day, weather day here in Philadelphia means plenty of kids that have been here all sugared up since about 8:30 in the morning. It's 1-0 to Nick Hundley.
You'd rather do it up here. I'm sure Ben could tell you those stories, and so can I. When you're in the minor leagues, these are the dare days. These things are 10 o'clock kickoffs.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you'll take that 1 o'clock.
Well, a day game after a night game, means no Buster Posey this afternoon. Also, Bruce Bochy told Andrew McCutchen a while back that on this road trip, this would be the day that he would sit.
He's got the big homecoming tomorrow in Pittsburgh. Should be a special night for McCutchen tomorrow. I know he's looking forward to it. And it'll be an interesting reaction. I'd like to see what they do for him.
It will be a warm reception for sure.
The Giants are on a 10-game road trip. Started with 3 wins in Atlanta. And has turned into 3 consecutive losses now here in Philadelphia.
Real good fastball there. If he can get that glove side command with the fastball, that's just going to set up that breaking ball. When you got pitchers locating the way they've been pitching the last couple nights, it's been tough on these hitters, especially now they're struggling. They're trying to get early contact because nobody likes to strike out.
When his fastball is on, it'll have a late cut to it. He'll get to the zone and just slight left turn.
And he throws it 60% of the time this season.
When you watch these Phillies, there's a lot to be excited about. A lot of young talent all the way, not only on the pitching staff, in the bullpen, but on the field. A lot of these guys can play, and you got a rookie skipper who's off to a good start.
Giants at 19-18 on the season. Phillies have won 3 in a row, checking in at 21 wins and 15 losses. And Hundley swings through, so just the leadoff home run from Gregor Blanco. Then he walks Crawford and retires the next 3 batters. There it is, pitch number 2 of the game. And he wallops it to right center for his first home run of the season. 5th career leadoff home run for Blanco, and the Giants grab a 1-0 lead, looking to salvage a game in the series. It's MLB Live on Facebook Watch, and we will see the Phillies in the bottom half of the first, a team that has poured it on offensively.
Good feelings on that mound. That's always a good thing.
And his day starts with Cesar Hernandez. Pours in a strike. I'm fascinated to see this battle, Ben, because you have a pitcher who leads the National League in ground ball percentage, doesn't give up walks. The Phillies have been among the best in baseball in the walk department, and they love to see pitches.
That they do. They want to get the starter out of the ball game as soon as possible, especially with the bullpen that's been kind of depleted over the last 3 games.
That's Ty's game right there. He's just going to mix it up. He's already going to the off-speed stuff. Second, third pitch, throwing change-ups. He's going to try to get these very hot Philly hitters off balance. But he's going to work quick. That's the most important thing, that the infielders ready to play.
Cesar very uncharacteristic last night with the 3 strikeouts.
A bit of a slump right now. He's hitting a .178 in his last 12 games. 2-2 up the middle. He drills it for a base hit.
Good looking swing there. Short.
Hey, look at the fastball. Just leaks back over the plate, trying to go inside with it. Goes right down the middle. Again, you're trying to find your groove in that first inning. Location down is good, but just over the plate. Cesar Hernandez, he's no longer an underrated kind of player. Tremendous defensively, but he's really becoming a dynamic offensive player as well.
And he's now 3 for 12 in the series. 6 stolen bases this season in 8 attempts.
Javi, I'll ask you, what is it about Ty Block's stuff that his splits really aren't that drastic? Righties hitting 276, lefties hitting just 255. It's not that drastic.
No, it's not. And it's the fact, I want to say that it's that he throws changeups to lefties. You don't see the lefty-lefty changeup very often.
To right field, Blanco has it for the first out.
He doesn't change his stuff to the hand, to the batter. It's usually you're going to see the breaking balls, you know, left on left, you see breaking balls. Right on right, you're going to see the breaking ball. But the fact that he's able to throw changeups to both lefties and righties, it's a little bit different. And obviously with Herrera, we're going to see all kinds of stuff. And I wouldn't be surprised if you see him double up on a couple changeups to Herrera here.
So Altair is retired, and now Herrera carries the on-base streak. It's at 38. 34 games this season, and 3 walks yesterday.
Those are some great numbers. When you look up at the scoreboard, he's excited every time you see that.
And he's taking care of business with that streak early on. He's done it 15 times. He's extended that streak in the first inning alone.
Jeff just wrote, Phillies will win the East in all caps. If Odubel's swinging like this, Phillies are a half game back of the Braves for first place in the division right now.
Good fastball in right there by Ty Block, tying him up. It's going to be an exciting race this summer in the East. I just feel like obviously the Braves stepping up, the Phillies playing tremendous baseball, the arms that they keep running out there, the Mets, they're not going to go away. It's going to make for a fun summer here in the Northeast.
Better than we expected, right?
It's a pleasant surprise. I wouldn't say you would discount the Phillies as to making a run, but that man right there, Gabe said all along, he said, we expect to win. And I think what the signing of Jake Arrieta kind of helped that out midway through spring training. It was like, okay, we got another horse. Let's go. And that was the biggest question mark going into spring training. We have Aaron Nola and 4 starters. Who are they going to be, and can they get through? But then they go and sign Arrieta, and it was all right. Gives us a lot more to work with.
And Zach Eflin was great the other day.
You think about those 2 big signings, like you just mentioned, Arrieta, and you bring in Carlos Santana. Now you've got another dynamic bat with some veteran experience coming over to just kind of be the leader on that offense, and it's showing. It's showing. A lot of these guys are up there with a lot of confidence.
Herrera's a 297 hitter with 2 strikes. That pitch gets away, but Hernandez is staying put.
And not a very aggressive secondary lead there by Cesar. That ball definitely got away from Hundley enough for him to advance. You see him just kind of, first of all, he breaks back, and if you're flat-footed, you're not going to go anywhere. You got to be more aggressive than that.
Hernandez stole so many bases in the minor leagues, and his best year in terms of stolen base totals was 2016 with 17 bags, but he was caught 13 times. Last year, a more efficient 15 for 20.
He definitely has gotten gun shy to try and steal, because you watch him run and it'll take your breath away. The guy can roll. but he's gotten picked off a few times. You see him retreat back to first base. We showed that replay. It's just a matter of him getting the jump and trusting the jump. He doesn't trust himself out there.
Spencer said, love the uniforms. Yes, the powder blues are back. We were here a couple weeks ago for Throwback Thursday. They're doing it all year. Herrera goes after the 2-2. Strikeout, but he's going to get to first. And that'll move Hernandez to second.
Look at the fastball, just missed location, but again, downward action. That's just a no catch, a little bit of a whiff.
We saw Buster with a couple of those last night.
That's yet another thing that's been happening here in Philly. It was happening in Atlanta as well. That just ability to catch the ball. There's some just routine plays that are just kind of eluding the Giants so far on this road trip.
So that's a wild pitch, and that is not reaching safely. So the streak is still on the line for Odubel. And they'll change it to a pass ball. Now Hoskins, who didn't start yesterday's game, appeared as a pinch hitter. And Ben, I heard you talking on the broadcast yesterday about Hoskins trying to get his timing back with fastballs, and he did hit a 93-mile-per-hour heater into center field to drive in a run in his load and plate appearance.
And fastballs have really kind of eaten him up, especially fastballs on the inner part. He was out early yesterday trying to remedy that problem just to get him where it's muscle memory. Your eyes will tell you how to react. And the sooner you see that ball inside, you're going to react quicker to it. But this is huge, having Carlos Santana behind him, who's so hot. Reese should get something to hit here, despite a runner on second base and, you know, a base open at first.
I guess they called Herrera out.
The base occupied.
So there we go. Just a runner on second. It's Hernandez moving up.
Good swing right there. This guy has so much talent. He didn't make his debut till August. Finished 4th in the NL Rookie of the Year. He's just trying to get extended, power guy. Plus he wants to do it against his hometown team, California boy. Grew up watching the Giants, and he's looking to do a little bit of damage there.
And this is what the Phillies do so well, especially at the top of the order, taking pitches. Hello, Lindsay. Happy early Mother's Day. Hoskins goes after it, and Block retires the side after giving up the base hit to Hernandez. No damage done. It's 1-0 Giants after 1. And a quick note, if you want to get rid of the comments Vincent Velasquez, as he faces 6, 7, and 8 for the Giants. Sandoval, Hansen, and Hernandez. A 17-pitch first. And first pitch strikes only 1 out of 5 times in the previous frame. And this is the 3rd start at first base for Pablo Sandoval so far this season. I didn't think I'd be saying that.
You got to try to get lefties, much like Ben mentioned. You got to get the lefties, as you see the hit right there, into the lineup against Velasquez. Those are the ones that have been doing any sort of damage. He's so dominant against right-handers. And Pablo's, besides the size and the look, he is nimble. He is athletic.
He is.
And he's one of the best bad ball hitters I've ever seen.
That's a really good piece of hitting there. It also helps too that Brandon Belt he's not going to kill you in left field. He's just not as good as he is at first base. I love him over there because you don't see a lot of first basemen that can still throw. They just don't practice. Brandon Belt practices, and he's really good at throwing the baseball. But he's been very serviceable in left field, right, Javi?
Definitely. I think he's reluctant to go out there sometimes, but you're right. He does like to fire the ball in. You can't run on that arm too often, and he's not going to kill you. He can get you a couple reps out there every once in a while, but I don't think it's the one that Bruce Bochy's going to want to do too often.
Well, Sandoval entered the day a .306 hitter against right-handed pitching, and the Giants need some offense right now. Just 5 runs in the past 3 games, all losses against Philadelphia. Hansen drives it to right field, and that ball is gone. Alan Hansen connects for a 2-run home run, and the Giants grab a 3-0 lead.
Now that's quick to the baseball there.
There's no secret what you're going to get from Velasquez, but yeah, he showed it in the first inning, getting in those hitter counts, trying to come back in with a breaking ball or something soft. He challenges with a heater. That's a good job of keeping your hands in. What do you think, man?
Yeah, Vince knew it right away, but he's been great for you guys. And you know, Joe Panic going down, obviously a huge loss, but Hansen's filled in admirably.
A big-time prospect with the Pirates coming up, just couldn't quite put it all together, but you could see why. He's got athleticism.
And he's still young as Gorkys Hernandez takes a first pitch strike. Hansen's 25 years old. That was his 3rd home run of the season. He was called up when Joe Panic went down in late April and was hitting .403 in the minor leagues. Just a late bloomer.
It's kind of crazy sometimes when you come up with guys, and I know Ben's known many, and you got guys that have all the tools, all the talent. Sometimes that's a lot to carry in the minor leagues. You're expected to do so much that it kind of hurts your development at times. And now that he's given it a little bit of a fresh start in another organization, just able to go out there and play, you're seeing things that that they liked so much in the first place.
That was his work in AAA in 18 games before he was called up. He earned it.
Is that good?
I think so.
I don't care if that's Little League. Those numbers are legit.
He's been a burst of energy. He can play everywhere. Switch hitter. His best tool is actually what he can do with his legs.
Yeah, he can run. He's got speed for days.
30+ stolen bases 4 times in the minor leagues. Yes, Zach. This guy Hansen is money.
He might end up being a guy that once Panic comes back, they're waiting on Mac Williamson to get back with a concussion. He might be a guy that you could throw in the outfield with the speed. They tried a couple nights ago, just getting some reps out there in left, and he's a dynamic player off the bench. You need guys sometimes late in a ball game to steal a base, especially off these bullpens the way they're constructed now, that you need to try to get in the scoring position. He's playing himself into a role.
It's a full count to Hernandez. And Velasquez blows 93 right by him for his 2nd strikeout.
That is just, here it is, hit it.
Yep.
So now it's Ty Blach, 1 for 17 as a hitter this season. But career 200 and well known for his first 2 career hits, both coming off Clayton Kershaw. Ever heard of him?
No big deal there. Just a couple knocks off one of the best in the game.
And another strikeout for Velasquez.
That is a free and easy arm.
Yeah.
That is no effort. The last 3 nights you've seen the Phillies pitchers go out just mid-90s out of the starters and just coming out free and easy. Velasquez has always had it. Just now trying to refine it, becoming more of a pitcher with it.
Delivers a breaking ball for a strike to Blanco. We'll see how he pitches him. 94 center cut, second pitch of the game, and Blanco delivered his first home run of the season. It had been 154 at-bats between home runs for Blanco. Last time was July 20th in Cincinnati. And Velasquez wastes no time. He strikes out the side and piles up 4 Ks in his first 2 innings. But a 2-run home run for Allen Hansen makes it 3-0 San Francisco.
Yeah, he got to it quickly, that's for sure. Giants dugout loves it. Hansen loves it, as well he should.
And back to Ty Blach and the Giants. Here in the bottom of the second, 2 home runs for San Francisco so far, contributing to their 3-0 advantage. And this is the red-hot Carlos Santana, sizzling this series. A home run in game 1, another one in game 2, and then yesterday, no long ball, but matches a career high with 5 RBIs.
Every time he seems to be swinging the bat, in particular against the Giants, it's an extra base hit, and it's a stake. He is He's driving them in.
He's driven in 10 in his last 3 games. Goes after the big breaking pitch from Block. He's mixing it up.
And that's what you're going to get. That is the book on Ty. He's going to mix it up, change speeds. Hitting's all about rhythm and timing, and pitching is all about disrupting that rhythm and timing. And he's going to do it. He's got nothing to overpower you, but he's going to attack you.
Santana was hitting 151 in his first 30 games of the season. 6 games since, he's at 346. Two sent to right field. Blanco giving it a look, and he has room for the first out. Okay, Alexa, do you have more for us on Gabe Kapler?
Yeah, Scott, the one thing about dieting and exercising, as a lot of people know, it tends to err on the side of what's restrictive, what you can't have, right? You can't eat this, you can't do that. But Gabe Kapler started a blog back in 2013, and what he did was he offered alternatives. So instead of chewing tobacco, replace your Copenhagen with high-quality organic coffee grounds was one of his suggestions. And he was saying things like, instead of not being able to eat certain foods, I'm going to suggest that you eat frittatas. And I've got a whole recipe of frittatas that you can, check out and make and replicate from my blog. So it's just really cool how he's able to preach things different and preach new age things that you can use, like mindful meditation, rather than just telling people what you can't do on his diet. The one thing that he did say was that he likes to dabble a little bit into the scotch and whiskey, noting that scientific facts have proven that they don't really affect your workout the next day. So he does dabble a little bit in things that he says aren't the most healthy for you, but he says everything in moderation is the way to go.
Well, we see the results clearly on the Instagram page.
I can't believe they photoshopped his head onto my body.
Isn't that crazy?
Why would they do that?
I don't know, man.
Unbelievable. What a specimen.
Javi, did you like working out, or do you like working out?
I do, yes.
Do you really?
But then I get to look at what Gabe has done. I mean, he was my teammate for a couple years.
Right.
And then I just think, like, what's the point? I'm never going to look like that. I'm never going to be disciplined enough to eat that. You throw pizza in my face, I'm going to eat the pizza.
Honestly, I go to the Y every day and I work out for 2 hours, and I dislike every minute of it. I do.
Do you go for 2 hours?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's definitely one thing I don't do. That's about an hour and some longer than I would ever be out there for.
The scotch and whiskey thing had me going too.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that.
It's quite a theory. Franco down on strikes. High block locating.
Good sequencing there. And Ty's already surpassed the strikeout total from Atlanta.
Good four-seamer inside here. Locks Michael up. Some paint.
And he gives length. Saturday in Atlanta, a season high 7 2/3. Gave up 2 runs, 1 of them earned. Last 3 starts, he's produced a 2.89 ERA. And this is Kingery.
Like I said, it might be something to this mound. He threw his first shutout, his only shutout here. And what do you think, Ben? Was there parks that you liked more, regardless, like if you weren't going in and raking, you just naturally like the place?
Yeah,
it's just kind of how it goes.
Muscle memory. I mean, every time you have success as an athlete, it doesn't matter where it is. And some folks didn't like. I only played a couple games at Candlestick, but I loved it because I did really well there offensively. And so guys, I can't stand this place.
In the air to center, it's Hernandez. And that'll sit down the side. A 1-2-3 second inning from Ty Blach. Very impressive. He struck out 3 so far and held the Phillies off the board. It's 3-0 San Francisco. MLB Live on Facebook. Watch. A few of you just said, who are the broadcasters today? Well, Scott Braun, Javi Lopez, Ben Davis, and you just heard from Alexa Dat. We've played 2. Phillies flame-throwing starter. I found this interesting. They were the only team, the Phillies, without a pitcher averaging 94 miles per hour or better from 2007 all the way through 2015. No starters that were throwing heat.
That's crazy. That's crazy to think about.
They've reversed course significantly.
Oh, in a big way.
First thing that Bruce Bochy said to us when we saw him this morning was, "You see the heat coming from these guys?"
That was a changeup right there that Ben was talking about. I'd like to see a little bit more good action, good late action. It's hard, but it's got some late dive to it.
Crawford stays alive. 412 hitter we just showed in the month of May. He was 189 through April.
Too good a pitch there, 0-2.
Javi, you played with him. What's he like? Is he quiet?
He's super quiet, very sarcastic, very dry-witted, and a gamer.
Snarky, would you say?
Yeah, it can be at times. Ever since that home run, it looks like Velasquez is throwing with a lot more aggression. Really trying to drive the ball through Alfaro. Trying to really command the ball again.
Well, that's something we'll ask pitching coach Rick Kranitz about. Here's James. A lot of upside for the Giants. Looking forward to the summer. We spoke a little bit about the division in the National League East. And that's Crawford down on strike 3. 4 consecutive Ks for Velasquez.
And that's something when I talked to Boach the other day about it, he said, Ben, we just have to try and weather the storm and see a good breaking ball. Spike that one. See that finger raised up. But they said have to weather the storm till they get Cueto back, till they get Mad Bum back. And it's not going to be easy, but see how it goes.
How about this? Being that we've seen the Dodgers struggle, the NL East has been crazy so far this year too. We'll re-rank the division. Both divisions later on. We'll save that. But start thinking about it because we'll want to see the comments. What you expected it to look like, and now about 6-7 weeks into the season, how it's playing out.
Velasquez doing a good job getting back ahead of these guys. Starting to work in the off-speed stuff.
I'd like to see him try and elevate here at Longoria.
That's something they've done real well. The starters have the last 3 nights. We're able up in the count 1-2, 0-2. Throw those waist-high, chest-high fastballs. They are so hard to lay off of. Not that I know. But what I heard.
There it is. Works up in the zone. And Velasquez has 5 consecutive strikeouts. Is that the changeup?
This is just a slider that backs up. He got away with one.
Best pitch in baseball.
Sure is. You see it as a hitter. You recognize spin. You expect it to break where it quote unquote should break, and it doesn't. It locks you up.
So now it's Belt. Avi, Michael says, shout out. Your time as a Giant, legendary. Thanks for being part of bringing together that winning culture.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm the big toe. I'm the big toe, I guess, down that bullpen. Yeah.
Ben, they didn't forget about you. Ben Davis from the Padres met you at spring training in the parking lot. Still have the signed baseball. He didn't sell it.
That's because it wasn't worth anything.
Belt to left. Hoskins chasing towards the line. And he has it. And Vincent Velasquez, ever since giving up the home run to Alan Hansen, has been a man on a mission. 5 consecutive strikeouts and then this flyout. And we are through 2.5 Giants up 3-0. Let's go back to Alexa.
Scott, our
That's a double blow dryer for sure. Get that set up nice.
This is Jorge Alfaro in the 8th spot for the Phillies. To the Facebook crowd, how much money would it take for you to pull off that Lance McCullers haircut?
I don't think there's any amount of money.
$1 million bonus in the contract. You wouldn't have taken it?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's a different
When
story.
you're adding a couple commas in there.
Oh, now
Yeah,
put numbers
multiple
to it.
commas.
Everything's got a price, right?
That's right. It's just hair.
I'm going to say the difference between a good haircut and a bad haircut is 2 weeks.
That's the last time I saw you.
Fanatic in training.
That's a great do. Forget blonde, go green here in Philly. So the last 9 games for Alfaro, we've seen 3 home runs. Actually, last time I was here, we did MLB Live on Facebook Watch Phillies and Diamondbacks, Ben, and Andrew Knapp was starting in a day game after a night game. And we asked Gabe Kapler about it. He said that we were just going to give him some time off to work on his swing. We've basically seen Alfaro play almost every game since then.
And he needed a little time off for his swing. He was just going at it way too hard. Getting himself down in counts, 0-2, 1-2, seemingly every at bat. He just doesn't have to go at it that hard because he is so stinking strong.
Sends the 3-2 to right. Blanco barely needs to move. 1 away.
Block doubling up on that changeup. Hitter count, but able to locate just enough, catch enough of the plate, and just missed the barrel. 1 away. Take another look at it here. Comes out of hand, stays up. Not exactly where you want to throw that changeup, but just got enough.
That's more
off the
speed.
barrel.
Yeah, that's more speed that got him out than location.
On a few hops, past a diving Crawford. It's Velasquez with a hit. That puts him at 5 for 12 on the season. Move him up in the order.
No slouch with the bat. Proving it there. First pitch, leaky sinker over the middle of the plate.
If Crawford can't get there, nobody can get there. How much do you like having him play behind you?
It made pitching a whole lot easier. As a contact guy myself, ground ball guy, I want to give my infielders all the chances they can get, and you would take 27 6-3s.
Ben, one more rolling in from the comments from Ron Bailey. Said, how much would it take for you to dye your hair Philly fanatic green on the
That
ground?
would be aggressive.
Crawford to Hanson to Sandoval. That's how it's done. 6-4-3. And the Giants escape and get those questions in for pitching coach Rick Kranitz of the Philadelphia Phillies. We will take them now, and we are talking to Rick momentarily. It's 3-0 San Francisco. Rick, thanks so much for the time. Good luck the rest of the game.
Thanks, guys.
Rick Kranitz, Phillies pitching coach.
He's awesome.
You can hear it in his voice.
He's
Seems
awesome.
so even keel.
He's so passionate about what he does.
Swing and a miss from Nick Hundley, and some of those questions we didn't get to, we can mix in right now during this half inning. For example, Ben, someone asked, I believe it was Matthew, the Jake Arrieta effect on some of the other pitchers.
It's been huge because, you know, from day one we've seen Jake Arrieta when he signed in Clearwater. He came out and it was just like, you know, everyone was all over him. It's like flies on garbage. I'm not saying Jake is garbage, but I'm saying they just flocked to him and just picking his brain. We saw Andrew Knapp the other night just sitting right next to him. They had a lengthy conversation, which you love to see. You know, just pick his brain because he's been there. And the greatest thing about it is it says how much he learned through failure and how it really made him a better pitcher. But the younger kids like Nick Pivetta and Vince Velasquez, they have really gravitated towards him, and I think it's affected both of them positively.
Yet another punch out for Vincent Velasquez. Nick Hundley goes down. That is 7, and we are in the 4th with just 1 away.
But that swing on a 1-2 count, it's just, in my opinion, it's just too hard. You know, it's just, what's wrong with shortening up and taking a lousy single to right?
Nick Hundley is clearly in the launch angle revolution. He has changed his swing, launch angle up significantly, and so are his numbers.
But watch this swing. I mean, this is just, I'm going to get it. It's just too hard. And it wasn't a terrible pitch to hit.
Well, the key word around the league is fly ball.
Yeah, the numbers have changed the way guys approach their at-bats, their swing angles, all the whole skit.
My favorite was Gabe Kapler this morning talking about Michael Franco, how he has continued to increase his fly ball rate, and he talked about his spine angle changing. I've heard launch angle. I had not heard spine angle.
Physiology, biomechanics. I wasn't awake enough. I think I needed another cup of coffee. When you sit with Gabe, you're getting a lot of big words thrown at it. Very smart man.
Hey, Melissa, she wants to see Pablo pitch. I didn't know they already threw a T-shirt together like that. Are we going to see another Sandoval pitching appearance? He looked good.
I mean, you hope you don't. But if you need it, he was buzzing the knees and throwing a nice little breaking ball. He said he had the changeup in the back pocket. He said if he has to go back out there again, he's going to bust it out. But he did save the pitching, and he saved a doubleheader. Really got the guys excited for that next game against the Dodgers. Got them relaxed, got them laughing.
This is what it looked like.
Yeah.
Panda on the hill, April 28th. It's not fun to get blown out, but there is also a ... unless Panda's on the mound later on. Everyone had fun with this.
Look at that. Good stride length, getting up and over that front leg. Wish you would have seen the curveball. He got a swing and a miss through it. The crowd went nuts. It was awesome to watch.
It's the only 1, 2, 3, inning of the day.
That's right. That's right.
He walked by. I was in with Boch the other day, and he walked by Boch. He said, Poppy, what do you got for me? He goes, Boch said, maybe the 8th. He goes, nah. He said, we're up. I'll get you a save today. He was my favorite manager, hands down. Hands down, my favorite manager. You always knew where you stood with that man. Always. Obviously, a knowledge of the game, being a former catcher, but the way he handles his players, you always knew where you stood.
So how about this? We'll talk to Bruce Bochy at the end of this half inning, so get your questions ready.
I remember one time he called me in the office after the game. He said, Ben, I can't have you playing like this. You did this wrong, you did that wrong. And he told me exactly what I needed to do. A week later, he calls me in his office again. I'm like, oh my God, I screwed up again? He said, I need you to play like that every time you take the field. So he told you what you needed to do to stay in the lineup and told you what you didn't need to do to stay in the lineup. It was just, he was great. And the way he handled the bullpen, you'd be back there like, why is he bringing this guy in? You go out to the mound, you make the change, you go back, 1, 2, 3, done. Like, oh, that's the reason.
The argument's always made, the old school, new school. Don't be fooled. Bochy knows numbers. He goes through the numbers, and it's a lot of what he does is predicated on that information. And although he'll just play coy with it, but he knows all kinds of situations and how he wants his lineup constructed.
How about that hook by Velasquez? That was straight 12-6. Usually he has a little bit more lateral movement on that hook, but that was straight over the top. I like that one.
His strikeout total is up to 8 after this.
That is literally 12-6 right over the top. Does Hansen swing? That was my demise. Any pitch with depth, anything lateral, I was okay with.
So he struck out Hundley. Sandoval with his second hit of the game, standing at first, and then Hansen down on strikes. Now Gorkys Hernandez, who was a K victim, back in the second. Great questions coming in right now. I'm writing down a few of them for Bruce Bochy. We'll speak to him for a couple minutes after this half inning.
You can see how that curveball can just set up that fastball. And 95 is 95, but when you're waiting, when you're getting slowed down by those off speeds, that really plays nicely.
And Hernandez's bat goes flying the whole thing. And Velasquez wasn't ready for the baseball back either. Thursday chaos.
I was telling him he couldn't see. Gorky's had a little hamate issue last year. Ben, you know more than anybody, I guess, on these kind of swings, when how that can hurt that bottom part of the hand.
Yeah.
Who lost a bat the other day? Was it Gorky's?
He did, and Buster toss went into the seats.
Yeah.
Oof. That'll wake you up.
He will not be reminded of that later in the clubhouse.
No,
he will not be. That's what I miss the most, clubhouse banter.
Yeah, a little Mitch Kupchak right there.
And that is strikeout number 9 for Vincent Velasquez, but his team trails 3-0. He served up a solo homer to Blanco in the first and a 2-run shot back in the second. Added up, and the Giants lead it 3-0, and they are led by You're joining us on MLB Live on Facebook Watch. Scott Braun, Javi Lopez, Ben Davis, and Alexa Dat all around the ballpark. Let's start the bottom portion of the 4th inning with Aaron Altair. 2, 3, and 4 due up for the Phillies. Herrera after that, and then Hoskins. Yesterday, 11 runs for Philadelphia and 3 for San Francisco. Bruce Bochy has a broadcaster's voice.
He's got good timber. Real good timber he's down out here.
And Block finds the strike zone.
This is definitely an out you want to get before you get into the beef of this lineup.
Every other comment right now is about Sandoval on the mound. Someone just said, lowest ERA on the team, throw him in the rotation.
Tell him, Javi, it's just not that easy.
It's not that easy, but it was impressive. I totally gave him credit. I saw him. I was like, man, that was nice. That's when he quickly went with, hey, I got a changeup too. Come on.
Ball 4 to Altair. Full count, works the walk. It's really incredible how the Phillies now lead baseball in pitches per plate appearance this season. And when they signed Carlos Santana in the offseason, we said, wow, this is one of the best on-base guys and one of the most patient hitters in the sport. Can he change the dynamic of the lineup? How much credit do you give to him?
He's been great. Just seeing pitches, and that's something that John Maley and Pedro Guerrero wanted the team to do, is see more pitches, get the starter out of the ball game, and they've been very successful in doing that. But it's the whole approach, it's the whole pregame routine that really, I think, is what Carlos Santana has really, the other players have seen him do, and it's really starting to pay off. And a lot of these guys are comfortable with 2 strikes. That's the other thing. Cesar Hernandez, very comfortable with 2 strikes. Carlos himself, very comfortable. Rhys Hoskins, very comfortable with hitting with 2 strikes. I think one thing they've gotten better at is not swinging at the pitcher's pitch. Just because it's a strike doesn't mean it's your strike. Okay, yeah, you threw me a strike down and away. I know I can't do anything with that. I don't care. It's 0-1, so be it. I still have 2 more.
Caught Herrera there looking for just something off speed.
That looked juicy.
Being able to sneak one by, and 1-2. He's already shown him a big hook. He likes to pitch into lefties, so you might see a fastball in, or maybe the changeup. We'll see where it goes. And fastball down and away.
And Ben, this plays to what you're talking about. The Phillies batting average with 2 strikes is 196. That sounds poor. It's the best batting average in that scenario in the National League right now.
Yeah. I mean, that the only purpose of that last swing was to spoil the pitch. That was it. He had no intention of putting that in play. And he did it successfully. Now hopefully he'll get something a little more appetizing here.
Spits at it. It's 2-2. Yesterday was unique too, because Nick Pivetta had a really long first inning. Ends up with 5 innings of work, scoreless baseball, 7 strikeouts. Pitch count was riding high, close to 100, because the Giants fouled off 21 of his pitches.
Yeah, he was able to get back into it. Nice play by Hundley.
96 pitches in 5 shutout innings for Nick Pivetta yesterday. No walks, but they fouled off 21 of them. A 31 pitch first inning, and then he was in cruise control.
Yeah, he was just really, really good after that first inning. But for him to be able to get back into it, that's part of the maturation process, and I think that's something he's learning from Jake Arrieta. It's not how you start, it's how you finish, and no better evidence than that last night.
See if Block can put away Herrera. He cannot. He pulls it to right field, and that's good for a base hit. He's heading for 2, and rounding third, now pulling up, is Aaron Altair on the double for a double Herrera to reach base successfully for a 39th consecutive game.
His hand-eye coordination. Look how he pulls in his back arm there. It stays connected. His hand-eye coordination is off the charts. Not that for an awkward swing, Javi.
I mean, not only to hit it, but you keep it fair.
I know it.
A lot of times you do that, you're going to end up hooking it just enough that it's got enough English on it. You're going to hook it into the seats or just foul. And man, when you're hot, you're hot. That's what makes that leadoff walk to Altair so big. Now you're an RBI machine coming up in RBI spots with him and Santana, with Hoskins and Santana coming up.
And nobody down in the Phillies portion of the 4th.
You know what's crazy, Javi, is the fact that, take a look here, the 39 games now by Odubel. He's in some good company.
Pretty big names on that list.
Yeah.
Wow.
Look what Bobby Abreu did back in 2000 over to 2001, 48 games. And Mike Schmidt, the leader, 56 in a row back in the early 80s.
Sit.
And Hoskins will drop it into left field. Base hit. Phillies on the board. It's 3-1.
Get a pitch up, stay in the middle of the field. But what I was saying, Javi, is when I was catching and my pitcher had a leadoff walk or a 2-out walk, it drove me crazy. And that's exactly what you need to do. Go at it with your hands, not with your body, that high pitch. But the leadoff walks or 2-out walks, actually, my blood would boil back there. And honestly, now being up in the booth, it actually makes me madder now. Because you see nothing good comes out of it. We saw it last night in the first inning. Odubel Herrera, 2-out walk. What happens next? Carlos Santana, double, run scored.
Yep.
And that led to two runs in that first inning. It's just, boys and girls, nothing good comes out of the walk.
Block, after doing so well, getting ahead, strike one, has not been able to do that this inning, and it's hurt.
Santana rips it to left field, and that ball's gone. Carlos Santana muscles up for a 3-run home run, and the Phillies are on top, 4-3.
How about that hooded 3-iron?
Wow. That baby left in a hurry.
What
It's
a
his
change.
third home run of the series.
What a change of events here in the fourth inning. I mean, that's just, Phillies had nothing going. Weak contact, lazy fly balls. Not this inning. And Javi, you pitched here, but it was a good place to hit.
Oh,
It is a good place to hit.
I've never heard a hitter say that they didn't like hitting here. And you see Block again falling behind.
Hey kids, this is Franco. So walk, double, RBI hit for Hoskins, and then Carlos Santana cleans up the bases with a 3-run shot. Now 6 homers on the season.
How about the Phillies hitting .462 with runners in scoring position this series? .462. And that's been their kryptonite this season.
30 runs this week against the Giants for Philadelphia. They're 14-5 at home this season. That's second best in baseball behind the Yankees. They too like this ballpark. Franco, nice contacts.
Yankees have lost, what, 1 time this month?
That's correct.
That's a hot club.
A comeback win yesterday over the Red Sox, including a 2-run home run for Aaron Judge off Craig Kimbrell. Payoff, high chop to third. Longoria taking his time, and that's the first out. Robert says the Phillies are going to surprise a lot of people this season. Hey, so far they've been doing it. Slam Tana. Is that catching on here, Ben?
That's his Twitter handle.
Carlos Santana hit a home run on Monday, Tuesday, yesterday 5 RBIs, and now another one today. And this is Kingery. And J.P. Crawford, opening day shortstop for the Phillies, is on the disabled list. It's given Kingery some more consistent time at shortstop, although he was coming off the bench yesterday. 1-1 over the pitcher, but it's Alan Hansen who makes the play. Two gone in the fourth. And now it's Jorge Alfaro. I was thinking about our conversations a couple weeks ago, Ben, with Carlos Santana struggling in the batting average department, yet so much hard contact. And I'm not talking about hard contact on the ground. I'm talking about fly balls that were just missing.
Right.
So I go back to Monday, his first home run of the series. It's in and out of the glove of Gregor Blanco. So his luck has turned around.
A little bit. But he just has not changed, and that's, again, the sign of a true professional. He has not changed his demeanor at all. He just, stay the course. And that's the sign, like I said, a true professional just believes in himself. He knows that they're going to come eventually.
Now it's Kingery who's been struggling, and Brody just asked what Kingery needs to do to get his swing going again.
Needs to be a little bit more selective, I think, at home plate.
I read a great article in The Athletic about Scott Kingery struggling because he's falling behind so often in the count. Most two-strike appearances in baseball right now, most two-strike scenarios. And I asked Gabe Kapler about it. He said it's just random. It'll even out. Off the end of the bat for Hansen, who backs up and makes the play. So 3 ground ball outs for Ty Blach, but not before 4 base runners are successful against him. The walk, the double, the base hit, and then the 3-run slam, Tana, for Carlos to put the Phillies ahead by a run as they go for the super sweep of 4 games over the Giants this week. And I don't know if that hairstyle has caught on in Philadelphia. It's difficult to pull off.
If anyone can, it's Odubel. It does fit his personality, though.
He plays an excellent center field. He's out there for the Phillies just about every day. This is 9-hitter Ty Blach. Not opening day, though.
9 strikeouts for Vince. Still pretty efficient with the pitch count. This will be the 69th pitch, but that's a lot of punch outs to still be in the 60s here into the 5th inning.
And he's one of those rare cases where the opponents hit better early, worse late. 192, 3rd time through the order against Velasquez. You don't see that very often nowadays.
No, that's led to many pitchers being pulled earlier than we're used to seeing. And he has definitely picked up steam since giving up that 2-run home run. Since the Hansen homer in the second, only Sandoval has reached with a base hit. Pretty much all strikeouts besides that, including this one, putting him at double digits for the 5th time in his career.
Oh, there's nothing. Blocks stepping open a little bit. He can't do anything with that. It's probably better off that he didn't hit it. He probably would have just had that nice stinger off the end of the bat, shaking your hands up.
Back to the top of the order in Blanco. The 10 Ks is season high. That strikeout pitch was at 93 miles an hour, but that fastball explodes.
It does. It's the reason they made the trade. He's got the tools. He's the big piece that they wanted and they got. And trying to regain the form he had a couple years ago. But the Giants once again setting records for these starters on the strikeouts.
So Justin actually asked that. I wrote it down from an inning ago. He said, can you ask Javi why the Giants are striking out so much?
I wish I had the answer. I would tell everybody. I don't know. I just feel, you know, they want to be aggressive. That's the one thing that's definitely, you know, the swinging bat is a dangerous bat. You think about that all the time. You hear that a lot. It's just at some point in time you got to be a little bit more selective as to what you're trying to do. And maybe, like Ben was saying, maybe just spoil some bad pitches. Just try to foul them off. Because it's awful hard for pitchers to execute time and time again. And you just try to hit mistakes. But when things start snowballing a little bit, you take yourself out of your comfort zones. You take yourself out of your rhythms and maybe out of the zones. And you start chasing things that you normally wouldn't.
Crawford pulls back on the bunt.
We were talking to Rick Kranitz before the game, and we were talking about the pitchers in the series for the Phillies and Zach Eflin. And he's a guy that the last couple of seasons he'd throw a fastball at 89 and he'd throw a fastball at 96. And you're like, wait a minute, what's going on? And Kranitz flat out told him, said, listen, if you get a guy down the count, go for the jugular. Punch his ticket. Punch him out. Go for it. And we saw him Monday night. He was pretty much sitting at 94, 95. And that's something, if he can carry out, he's got 2 new knees. But he had double knee surgery. And he's just feeling way better. And he's got a good foundation underneath him. And it's starting to show.
Pours in 94 against Crawford. 11 strikeouts for Velazquez. So 2 things. Number 1, we saw 12 strikeouts from Aaron Nola the other day. He's about to join us after this half inning. So get your questions in for Aaron Nola, and we will talk to him really for the majority of the bottom of the 5th inning. So we'll get a lot of your questions into him. There he is, ready to get mic'd up. The other one, someone just said, Javi Lopez, one of the best power hitting catchers I've seen. Not that Javi Lopez. Crawford rips a fair ball down the line, and he'll head to second. It's a 2-out double for Brandon Crawford. That one disappeared into the corner.
Javi was instantly my favorite player. In middle school, he's with the Braves. Started that career. I have so many of his baseball cards. As you look at this fastball just riding in, keeps the hands in again. These are not easy pitches to keep fair.
Sure, that would have been a ball. Did you like when Javi Lopez would set up a foot off the plate and get the pitch?
Hey, you're going to get it called, might as well, right?
Glavine, Maddox, Smoltz. That's good living for a catcher.
Yeah, how nice would that have been, huh?
Rocking chair.
Get in the squat back there with those guys. You're basically just making suggestions at that point behind the plate and just catch it.
So now Longoria, who's 0 for 2. He struck out last time against Velazquez in the 3rd.
We were down in Atlanta, and took the elevator down with Joe Simpson, who does TV for the Braves, and Tom Glavine. We were riding down. We get off the elevator and we start walking to go get something to eat. And one of the security guards, Joe had his credentials on. I had my credentials on, and Tom did not. And he goes, "Sir, do you have your credentials?" And he goes, "No, I left them upstairs." And he let him through anyway. I said, "If there's one person in this whole ballpark that doesn't need credentials, it's number 47. It's Tom Glavine.
The credentials are up in Cooperstown this year.
Yeah.
Great questions coming in for Aaron Nola. I'm jotting a few of them down.
Make sure you ask Aaron who's a better fisherman, me or him.
Somebody request that, and I'll ask it. Longoria has actually struggled this season against right-handed pitching. Most of his damage against southpaws this year. Lifted to right for Altair. And that'll do it for the Giants in the 5th. So a 4-run bottom of the 4th for the Phillies to grab the lead, and then Vincent Velasquez silences the bats again here in the 5th. He has 11 strikeouts, and the pitch count's low enough for him to get that total up even higher. We see him again in the next frame. So let's
my pitches feel pretty good right now.
Aaron, one thing I always talk about when I'm up here in the booth watching you pitch is your mound presence. Your demeanor out there doesn't change if you're up by 10 runs, down by 10 runs, striking guys out or not. Is that something that you've always had, is that demeanor out on the bump?
Yeah, that's I kind of got it from my brother. I'm watching him over the years. Then I got to play with him at LSU one year and watch how he took care of business on the field. It's kind of the same thing. He would anything good, anything bad, it was this kind of same demeanor, and I kind of took it away from him.
That's a base hit. Vincent Velasquez has 2 of them so far today. Oh yeah, a little oomph when he gets to first. Wow, he's now 6 for 13 on the season. How much does he brag about that, Aaron?
He really doesn't brag about it much. That's crazy. I mean, every time he pitches, he gets a hit.
Talking to Aaron Nola of the Philadelphia Phillies. Phils have a base runner to start off the bottom of the 5th. They put together 4 runs in the 4th, capped off by a Carlos Santana 3-run home run. And now we're back to Cesar Hernandez at the top, and he'll lay down a bunt, but it dribbles foul. Here's the question we've been waiting for from Tyler. He said, who's a better fisherman, you or Ben Davis?
I mean,
It's not a win-win.
we've only
here
been
for you.
one time, but I think I am. But the day that I went, he was.
Ben, your response?
It wasn't that I was just a little bit better. I think it was.
You catch people on their off days sometimes, and it caught me on a bad day.
I knew all the hot spots.
Hey, someone asked if you like hitting based on what Velasquez is doing, or would you rather have a DH in the National League?
I like it sometimes. You know, you got your pros and cons. You get to throw against a hitter. I mean, a pitcher. So, I mean, I've never been in the American League or any of that, but I mean, we throw the DHs in spring training. But I mean, it's pretty cool. It's a cool way the National League is set up. So, no, it's all right.
That's a base hit for Hernandez through the left side. So 2 on to start the 5th for the Phillies.
Speaking of hitting, Aaron, one thing I've noticed that you've made a concerted effort, and the bunts have been better this year, is your sacrifice bunts. How hard have you guys worked on that? Because last couple of years it hasn't been real good.
Yeah, we're still working on it. Every time we take batting practice every time at home and then on the road in the cages. So I mean, we still bunt a good bit.
Alan wants to know, where's your favorite cheesesteak spot? That's a popular one whenever we get a Philly on.
I might be mad. I don't really eat cheesesteaks that much anymore. But I've been to gyms a couple times. It's a pretty good cheesesteak.
Has your diet changed since Gabe Kapler took over?
Not really. I mean, I eat the food at the field a lot. I'm really not picky. I mean, I eat pretty much everything, and I like pretty much everything. So whatever they got in the clubhouse, I'll eat.
Talking to Aaron Nola of the Phillies, meeting on the mound for San Francisco. Ty Blach about to deliver his 80th pitch. Back-to-back base hits for Philadelphia. Velasquez and Hernandez. Velasquez with his 4th career multi-hit game already in his career. Incredible. Dennis wants to know, who's the jokester in the dugout, Aaron?
It's Adam Morgan right now. He's on the DL, and he's not sitting in the outfield in the bullpen, so he's taking over right now down here. But on a regular basis, probably Franco. Franco Altair is kind of sneaky funny. You would never know.
John wants to know who you model your game after, and then I saw Clayton ask who your favorite player is of all time. So give us both.
Oh, man. I don't know. I don't really model my game after anybody. Favorite player is probably got to be Ken Griffey Jr. I grew up liking him a lot. I actually used to collect bobbleheads back in the day, and had a good bit of him. And I collected baseball cards, and I had a lot of his baseball cards.
These are some tough ones. Tough job on your off day, Aaron.
Yeah.
1-1 to Altair, misses low. Okay, how about from Austin? How much do you think about personal awards like a Cy Young?
I mean, it'd be amazing to win one of those. I mean, that's the top, I think, individual accomplishment you can do. But I really think winning a World Series is on the top. I mean, there's nothing.
That's to Crawford with his glove. The flip to third. That's pretty. He gets the lead runner, Hernandez, or make that Velasquez.
But yeah, I don't think there's anything like winning a World Series. I've never been on one, obviously, but I mean, the only kind of championship I've won is in high school, and that was pretty cool. But I think just winning as a team, I think, is probably the best accomplishment.
Boy, that is smooth play by Crawford.
Velasquez hustling. Gets that foot down. There's a bang bang right there. That's going to do it for old Ty.
That's right. Ty Blach will be replaced. 83 pitches deep. Okay, Aaron, last one before I let you go. A lot of LSU fans apparently watching too. Adam said, how far does LSU go this year?
They'll make it to Omaha, I think.
Wow. Bold. Be bold, Aaron. Great.
He's got the glasses. We talked about the dew a couple innings ago. All right, that was fun. Like it or leave it every week. MLB Live on Facebook Watch.
Javi, would a player like Odubel infuriate the other team?
I think at times, I think earlier actually in his career, probably was with the way he seemed to take a lot more time. But this year he seems getting in the box, getting hungry, ready to roll.
Like the bat flips on a sac fly or something like that.
Yeah. I feel like he's toned it down. And again, I haven't watched a whole lot of Phillies games this year, but I feel like all that stuff happened a lot more last year.
We love him. We absolutely love him.
Well, he's polarizing like the way Panda's been a few years ago with the Giants.
Yeah.
He's a big personality. A lot of flair, a lot of things, but it's going to be tough on you.
Going after Will Smith's off-speed pitch with runners in scoring position. Matt says El Torito has swag, and that's a Philly-style player right there.
No argument from me.
Odubel's in his 4th season. He's 26 years old. And that on-base streak at 39 games. Through the right side for a base hit. And that's going to bring in a run. Odubel Herrera makes it 5-3 Phillies.
He just gets it done. He just gets it done. And that's what hitting is, right? A game of adjustments. It could be pitch to pitch. It could be game to game. It could be year to year. Odubel swings through that pitch earlier in the count. Gets it again off Will Smith and shoots it to right. Now there's a good secondary by Cesar.
Just gliding.
Yeah. Adam Morgan loves it.
Well, that's the jokester in the clubhouse, according to Aaron Nola, and in the bullpen. So Hernandez scores. Altair at third. Off the base hit from Odubel Herrera.
I do remember when guys from the pen would be on the DL and they'd sit in the dugout. And then it would last like 3 innings. Like, would you just go back out to the bullpen, please? Please?
Now it's Hoskins. He started the scoring for Philly. A run scoring hit back in the 4th. Odubel Herrera, by the way, against Will Smith, he didn't forget about him. 4 for 7 in his career against the reliever. This was Hoskins in the last inning.
Just gets a high changeup. Tomahawks it to left.
Bill said the Phillies are starting to remind me of the Eagles. And it's early. (2-0) is apparently on the corner of the plate. It's 2-1.
So, Javi, living in Atlanta, are you a Falcons fan?
I am not actually a Falcons fan. I'm learning to be a Falcons fan.
Okay.
I'm getting my way. I'm a DC area guy, so I pull for all those teams there. But yeah, they're passionate about a lot of things in Georgia, and Falcons football is right on up there.
Someone asked if Will Smith is on the wrong team, or he's thinking about the wrong Will Smith.
He said of all the places that he's had to come and pitch, obviously he gets worn out here more than anywhere else, because this is, you know, getting jiggy with it. This is Will Smith. He's from Philly, West Philadelphia, born and raised.
Right.
So he said he's the one time you don't like warming up in this pen as it is, but you don't want to be Will Smith warming up in this pen.
Hoskins went around, and the strikeout for Smith, who is from Newman, Georgia. So maybe he's a Falcons fan.
Oh, he definitely is. Just outside the city. So look at the high fastball.
Well, it was an emotional return for Will Smith not long ago, back on May 2nd. And he has given the Giants 2 innings with 2 strikeouts entering today. But it was a long time coming. Tommy John surgery. He missed all of last season. My favorite part is when you get the hugs and the high fives after your first appearance, you go to the training staff.
Yeah. Spent so much time with him. A lot of times when you're on the DL, you kind of feel like you're on an island. He's able to get back, put the uniform on, and He's letting it fly too. He's not holding back at all. He's been aggressive all through the rehab, and credit to him and the training staff and the work ethic that he's provided. And gives Bruce Bochy yet another viable lefty arm to go with Tony Watson down there.
He enters this season with a strikeout rate about 10 per 9 innings. Slowly hit to Longoria, and he makes the play across the diamond. And that'll sit down the Phillies. They get one more. Odubel Herrera with the RBI hit. It scores Cesar Hernandez. Philadelphia's up 5-3, going for 4 straight wins in this series against the San Francisco Giants. It would be their first sweep of San Francisco of at least 3 games since back in May of 2006. MLB Live on at the start of the day was 514. Now it's dipped down into the 4s. I think the best thing you've seen so far from Velasquez too is that he's healthy. It's been a big problem for him so far in his career. Only one time has he gone 20 starts in a season. That was in 2016. He made 24 starts, 131 innings. So Belt is 0 for 2. A pair of fly ball outs to left field.
Kind of going under that changeup a little bit, pushing it. That's a good spot to try it, though. You're up a couple runs.
Go ahead, Ben. You can react to that.
That's aggressive. The face of the Phillies will be Bryce Harper. I don't think Bryce is going anywhere.
Think he's staying?
I think the Nats, they came out and said he's staying here. Now, does that mean Bryce won't test the free agent market, or see what else is out there? Does Bryce want to stay in D.C.?
The Phillies should have the payroll capability. So who's the big man that they should be looking at?
Well, I think you're looking at Harper and Machado. Trout, obviously local kid, best player in all the game. But I think if any player leaves, I think Machado he's out the door. That's signed, sealed, and delivered. He's not going to sign back with Baltimore. But if the Angels do not sign Mike Trout, they will lose 3/4 of their fan base. They will.
Sky, right field, Altair calling off Herrera. First one gone in the 6th.
That whole team is Mike Trout.
Sure is, yeah.
The whole fan base is Mike Trout. Obviously now with Shohei Ohtani coming in and Pujols still doing his thing a little bit, but it's Mike Trout.
But you know who loves Philadelphia more than almost anyone I know?
Mike Trout.
Mike Trout. I've done some interviews with him. He wants to talk about 2 things. The weather. He's a weather fanatic.
That's right.
And he wants to talk about Philadelphia and sports in Philadelphia. Huge Eagles fan. Just throwing it out there. That's still a few years away, though. Harper and Machado are after this season. So now it's Hundley.
And Kershaw's going to be out there again.
If he opts
he
out
can
of his
opt
contract.
out. He can opt out.
Right.
There's Morante getting one.
I was thinking about it too with that injury. If he just gets back and starts throwing the way he's been throwing, there's a lot of money to go get.
Dallas Keuchel will be a free agent, and so will Patrick Corbin. Two of the better starters that will be available.
Wow, that was actually a lot closer than I thought it was going to be.
And it wasn't loud contact off the bat. It was lofted. And there's that launch that we're seeing from Nick Hundley this year.
When it came off the bat, I just thought he really hooked it, but it wasn't that bad.
There's that high fastball in the corner from Velazquez. That's how he struck out Ty Block. That was one of my favorite pitches I've seen so far from him.
Just trying to spoil pitches at this point. He's about to reach the 100 pitch mark. Philly's got the pen going. Seems like some easy tossing, though. They're going to try to get him through this inning. He is up 4th.
Sandoval has 2 hits off of him. Okay, Ben, get your last words in, because when 2 more outs are recorded, Ben's going to take a break and he will join you in the comments section. What does that mean? You ask him questions and he types responses. Javi and I will take over for the broadcast. There's another strikeout for Velazquez.
So he's done it with the fastball, obviously. He's done it with the hook, and now the slider.
That was real nasty.
Wow.
And that's 12, just like we saw from Nola the other day.
Well, Panda's had his number today.
2 singles off of Velazquez. I watched all 3 games of this series so far, front to back, just like you two. I'd say 2 big themes. Phillies offense, giant strikeouts, but not Sandoval. He makes contact, but it's weakly hit to Franco. And 101 pitches for Vincent Velazquez. Gives up 3 runs in 6 innings. A solo home run to Gregor Blanco, and Alan Hansen with a 2-run shot back in the 2nd. Other than that, magnificent. 12 strikeouts. win. And a win would put them in a tie for first place in the division, at least temporarily, with the Braves.
Coming on a pitch now for the Giants is Reyes Maranta. Pitched in the first game in this series. Came out in Atlanta due to a little back injury. Was able to get loose. Muscle got tight, but he's been throwing the ball well out of the pen. You're going to see some velocity. This is the kind of velocity you see out of the Phillies pen.
That's 97 in to Michael Franco.
He's got a nice slider to back that up. But again, you got to keep it close if you're the Giants. You got to find a way to keep the score right here.
Franco, Kingery, and Alfaro due up for the Phillies. Maranta, 25 years old. Made his MLB debut on September 5th of last season. Big strikeout numbers in the minor leagues in his career.
He's really done everything Bruce Bochy has asked of him. Third of an inning, full innings, multiple innings.
We saw him on Monday give them an inning. No runs, 1 hit allowed. Well, Franco likes to chase sometimes, not that much.
I don't know if he's looking in the other batter's box for a pitch, but Franco's ready to go. Look at him, he's still in there. Maranta hasn't even towed the rubber.
Eric is a big fan of the powder blues.
That's a good look. Everyone likes options now. That's a nice option to have.
This time he gets Franco to chase.
That was a nasty slider there. Backed it up.
Speaking of the powder blues, this is when they became famous in the 80s.
Schmidt, Carlton. Yeah.
Ben's jealous that he's not on the broadcast right now. That was right in his wheelhouse.
It really was.
I think he said his favorite players were Schmidt and Dalton. But you can ask him that in the comments section right now. Ben grew up.
I want to know who his favorite hair was growing up. He had some good dudes going with Dalton. You had Kruk.
Kruk said he was
Lenny.
forced to keep the hairdo like that. I was
Lenny
with him.
Dykstra. Yeah,
that's right.
You know, makes you wonder which flow he liked the most.
So during the 80s, the Powder Blue days, 3 postseason appearances, 4 NL Cy Young awards from 3 different pitchers, and of course Mike Schmidt winning 3 MVP awards. 1983, that team was one of the most popular teams ever in the city of Philadelphia.
Maranta letting it fly right now. 98, hitting his spots. Sure seems like his back is okay now. Throwing the ball real well.
Mostly 4-seam and that slider you were talking about, he uses 44% of the time. In the air to right. Blanco gliding over. So Maranta sits down Franco and Kingery. Now it's Jorge Alfaro. Have you noticed how much relievers are relying on secondary pitches versus just their fastball? Just based on even when you were playing, what, a season and a half ago?
Yeah, it's changed. I mean, you're the easy ticket into the pen now is swing and miss stuff. You want strikeouts coming out of the bullpen. Contact guys are a little bit lost now. You know, I was one of those. I would just try to get ground balls and do some ground balls, get you a punch out every once in a while, just trying to use my deception. But a lot of guys being able to come in now, it's get the strikeouts, being able to face not just righties and left. Now you got to face the lefties as well. Get guys that are multi-purpose, multi-use, a la an Andrew Miller, a guy that. And then a lot of guys, when you're constructing a pen, you're trying to get guys with back-end experience that are able to go and close and do it. Because now I can see it. You've seen it with some other clubs that. Not every day they're going to have the same guy closing, throwing the 9th inning. You want guys that have had that experience, and It's definitely changed, but you do need a good secondary pitch because 98 gets turned around real easy nowadays.
You Giants fans, let us know in the comment section how excited you are about this appearance from Moranta. Wow.
That was awesome.
Pulls Franco, Kingery flies out, and Alfaro goes fishing. That's an easy 6th inning from the Giants reliever. So it's 5-3 Phillies over San Francisco.
Phillies could compete in American Ninja Warrior?
You know what? The one guy I'd like to see, it would be Rhys Hoskins, but of course he's 6'4", 230 pounds. Maybe not your ideal American Ninja Warrior height, but look, I did it at 6'6", 247 pounds, competing on American Ninja Warrior Celebrity Red Nose Day on May 24th. So maybe Rhys Hoskins has an opportunity. I mean, I know he's a big-time player, but I'd love to see his athleticism transfer to American Ninja Warrior.
I feel like Phillies fans would love to see that too. That'd be pretty fun. What's the hardest obstacle for these athletes when they're competing?
Well, I think it's all of them, but I think the majority of them are new. So they've never seen them before. So every single city we go to, they've never seen one. But I think the biggest one we saw, last year, you look at the wing nut. Wing nut was extremely difficult. It was brand new. It was a design challenge that had never been done before. We put out a design challenge to our fans, and our fans created it, and we put it on the show. And it took out so many ninjas. It was ridiculous.
Pretty cool and awesome that the fans were able to get involved.
Yeah. We want to continue to grow the internal fandom that we have with the show. It's one of the very few family shows that you can watch. The kids can watch it, the parents can watch it, and I think that's what's great. Ninja gyms are popping up all over the place, and we're rewarding kids now because we're coming up with an American Ninja Warrior Junior for kids 9 to 14. So kids are finally going to get an opportunity to get in on it.
All right, we'll look out for that. Akbar, who hosts American Ninja Warrior, joining me. Thank you so much. Season 10 debuting coming up soon this spring, May 30th on NBC. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alexa. We're not going to talk too much smack about his first pitch because I think he could probably beat us up.
Yeah, no.
Right?
I like it. Changing eye level.
Changing eye level. That's a great way to put it. Gorky's Hernandez. He also can break it down a little bit. Let's see what you got. See, better in that department.
does the floss there in a little bit.
So this is Sir Anthony Dominguez. 2 innings so far in his major league career. He made his debut on Monday. Sat down Alan Hansen with a ground ball, and now he's 1-2 to Hernandez.
This guy's got a big arm. He's a starter. A lot of starter reps down in the minor leagues, but he's built for the bullpen, but he's got feel for the off-speed stuff. And just like we were talking about last inning, but you want to be able to get in there and throw some off speeds and get some outs, because everybody can hit fastballs. But when you set them up with the slow stuff, there it is right there. You throw the cheese right by you.
98 outside. Hernandez goes down. It's the 13th time a Giant has struck out this afternoon.
And Giants, I think it was about an inning ago, they had already gone 50+ on the strikeouts, and that's the most they've ever had in a four-game series since 1913.
And that is smothered by Santana, but who's covering first? He is, to make the play.
That could have been a train wreck.
Looks like he might have messed up his ankle a bit as he dove into first. That is the 3rd out. We'll see how he's doing if he stays in the game. Right now he's trying to walk himself back to the dugout. He definitely took a hit on a spectacular play.
Yeah, turned himself into one amazing first baseman. I mean, who says catchers aren't athletes, right?
Pitchers say that.
Wow, I mean, you got Pando over there. Pando, former catcher. Look at that play.
Full extension. He did the right thing, though, not flipping that ball.
Went with the foot first slide.
That is, you almost get a jammed hand by Tomlinson. A lot of spikes going towards that base, and thankfully everybody's up.
Just does barely get him, though. It's a good call.
A one.
Of that club right now, and I just, that offense is going to be tough, and the way they play defense, they're really going to make you work real hard to get some runs.
We want your picks. Comment below right now. NL West, NL East, power rank it for us. I'll pick out a few that I see. How about that? 4th place for the Los Angeles Dodgers. According to Javi, I mean, it's been that kind of start and those kind of injuries. It's just shocking to say it.
Yeah, you can get away for a while with the pitching, I feel like, with a pitching injury, but when you're missing the thump in your order with Seager now gone. You got Turner. You're missing pieces that you're relying on driving in runs, and that's not easily replaced for me.
This is Pedro Florimon in the 9 spot. Florimon was a defensive replacement in the last half inning. He took over for Kingery at shortstop. We spoke to Gabe Kapler this morning about who's earning more playing time, and he said Alfaro, who you're seeing more often. They love Aaron Altair out there, and he said, I wish we could find more time for the man at the plate.
And he's a guy that's put in, Ben, you could speak to this. He's put in a lot of time.
Yes, he
has. 31. He's bounced. He's been in the minors for a long time. He's learned different positions. And from what I understand, tremendous guy, never complains, just truly happy to have that uniform on, and whatever you ask of him, he does.
And his baseball instincts are there. I mean, they are there. His hands are incredibly soft. He's got a very good arm, but you're right, he can play anywhere. Switch hitter. And he's a very, very good team player.
2-2 from Sam Dyson is fouled off.
Some guys just have instincts for baseball. Take a look at this play right here where he just goes and dekes Trey Turner. I mean, this is just textbook. Straight steal. Wieters pops it up, right? Florimon applies the quote-unquote tag. Well, this is just textbook. Usually guys will look in, especially if a ball, you hear the sound of the bat. But that's as good a deke as you're going to see. Easy double play.
He never even looked back for the baseball. And that is pulled to right field. Pedro Florimon rips it into the corner, and there's trouble in the corner for Blanco, so he's going to have a stand-up triple.
He can scoot too.
That's his first pinch hit of the season.
He was 0 for 7 coming in, pinch hitting, but another ball, he just sneaks inside the line. It just hits that corner and just kind of rolls around. And they say that triple's the most exciting play in baseball. I prefer the home run, but triple's a close second.
I think most do.
Definitely at AT&T Park, it's exciting because of that gap out there, triples alley. But now it's must strikeout situations for Dyson here. Got to try to keep this game close. And he's got to do it against the top of the order now.
Looking at some people weighing in with their divisional picks. PJ said, I agree. Nationals on top. Bobby said Phillies Yankees World Series 2009 remix. It's possible. Deshaun said he agrees with you at the top. Diamondbacks, Rockies, and then a toss-up for third between the Dodgers and the Giants. It's 2-1 to Cesar Hernandez. I thought there was going to be more bias in the comments section with everyone just saying Giants win the West and Phillies win the East. Getting some honest answers.
You have to look at it objectively. You know, you wouldn't think the Dodgers would be able to sustain it with those injuries. And the way that the D-backs are playing, they were just in here. Scott, you saw them with us. They do so many things so well. And they might beat you one way one night and beat you a completely different way the next. That's a sign of a really good ball club.
And they've had their fair share of injuries. Robbie Ray is on the shelf. Taijuan Walker's out for the year. When we saw them back then, Steven Souza was out. Now he's back. Jake Lamb is still missing. Now some Phillies fans saying guaranteed Phillies win the division. I will say this. Correct me if I'm wrong. Gabe Kapler did guarantee a postseason appearance for the Phillies.
Yes, he did.
Be bold, his spring training statement. Good at bat from Hernandez.
Yeah, you see Dyson trying. I mean, like I said, this is a punch out situation. You are throwing everything up there to try to get a swing and a miss. And let's face it, just like Ben was talking about, you got 2 clubs that had one of the worst winning percentages last year. It's tough to just go full 180. Not that the pieces aren't there, but a lot of things got to go right.
7th pitch of the at-bat. It's a roller to Sandoval. So that's the first out. Florimon stays put at third. NL West is just flooded with injuries. The Giants have a long list. We're waiting for Bumgarner, hopefully early June. Johnny Cueto was just put on the 60-day disabled list. He joins Melanson on there, who apparently will throw a bullpen session tomorrow. Joe Panik with a thumb surgery. Hansen's been a great replacement. Pence with a thumb sprain. And Mac Williamson with concussion symptoms. And that has really hurt the outfield for this team.
It has. Mac, when he came up, was a spark. He instantly came up, started blasting homers, which is something that the Giants desperately needed. And then the mound just went and got him at AT&T Park. The mounds are on the field. Was hustling over to make a play against Bryce Harper on a foul pop. Misses it, slams his head into the wall. Next at bat, you wouldn't have noticed. He hits a jack to center, but ultimately got a little bit of a dizzy spell going, and now he's in that concussion protocol, and just hope to get him back.
A ball and a strike to Aaron Altair.
I don't know if I ever had any concussions, but back then we didn't have the protocols. You take the baseline test in the beginning of the year and you go through it, but foul tips and getting run over at home plate, and I mean, you get up from some of those like, where am I? And did I really have a concussion, or I just get hit hard? It's just you don't know. My wife will tell you that I've had a couple.
Is that a text you get often?
Yeah. How many foul balls did you take off the desk?
It's 2-1 to Altair. Infield is in.
The worst I got was against these Giants. JT Snow ran me over at home plate one day, and I got up and I had no idea where I was. No idea. It was a throw from right field, so I was kind of blinded. I turned and just got blasted. JT's a big dude.
Ball 4 to Altair. Second time he's worked a walk this afternoon. Herrera coming up next. This was the problem for Mac Williamson, the game you're talking about, back on the 24th. That was off the bat of Bryce Harper. That's a tough hit.
Yeah.
Why are the mounds there?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
You look at the reactions from both him and Buster.
Did they forget to put them in like they did at Petco?
That's the story.
So I know at Petco they forgot to put them in. And then they had to decide what bullpen Trevor Hoffman wanted to come out of.
How many times did people ask you about that?
All the time, and I think it had its time, but if there's space in the ballparks, go ahead and get the guys out of the way. You invest so much money in your players. Last thing you want to do is have it paid on the DL because you're just running around doing something.
Herrera, base hit into center field. And that'll bring in another run for the Phillies. Florimon trots home. It is 6-3 Philadelphia.
Gorky's get a bad read on this. Ball's in the air for a while. No, he hit it hard.
It was a low liner, but it kind of carried.
3 more hits again today for OD.
It's going to line up for a heck of a matchup this weekend with the Mets rolling into town.
Up, Pedro. This way. Plenty of time. He comes home, and Herrera is now a .441 hitter this season with runners in scoring position.
He's hitting .353.
Altair moves up to second. That's Santana waiting on deck behind Hoskins. been quite a ride for Sam Dyson over the past year. He was a lockdown closer for the Texas Rangers back in 2016. ERA around 2.5 with 38 saves. And then just couldn't find his sinker in 2017. Eventually traded to San Francisco, where he found a home.
He's got the stuff. When he's down in the zone, that sinker just bottoms out. He could use one here for.
It's 95, and there goes the bat.
You take a look back at this Odubel swing. He kind of walks it off like it's just going to be a sac fly. Watch how he walks out of the box. So he has a little bat flip, and he just kind of starts walking like, okay, I got my sac fly. And all of a sudden he realized this ball's going to get down. I think he expected Hernandez to catch that.
There is no scenario where Odubel Herrera won't flip the bat. I think he's done it on singles, doubles, sac flies, home runs, outs, you name it. So here's Santana, 3-run home run back in the 4th to put the Phillies ahead. It was 3-0 San Francisco off a home run from Blanco and a 2-run shot from Hansen. 6 unanswered from the Phillies. It's a good pitch. Luis Garcia could be coming soon. (13 RBIs the past 4 games for Santana. Now that's a streak. 7 straight with an extra base hit.
Uh-oh.
Javi, I've been laughing at that big green furry thing for 41 years.
He can do anything in
Yes,
this
he
place.
can.
He can get away with it. He's fun to watch. He's the best.
Lifetime no trade clause.
That was my favorite line from our last game together. He is the only untradeable Philly, he said.
He really is.
Wherever you're watching the game, whether you're at the game, watching or listening on your phone, or anywhere around the globe, hashtag SFPHI. Post your selfie on Instagram, and we'll roll a few later. 0-2 on the ground. Hansen's on the grass in short right. And Santana sits down. So do the Phillies, but they get another one and lead it 6-3 over San Francisco after 7. It's in that lineup. Nelson Cruz, Seager, Segura, D. Gordon for some speed. Luis Garcia on the mound, 31 years old, 6th MLB season, and a 3.21 ERA. That's a bunt in the air into the glove of Alfaro. Easy one pitch, one out to start the 8th. Gregor Blanco is retired, and Crawford's coming up next. And we'll go to Alexa Dapp.
Scott, I talked to Brandon Crawford before the game about his approach to the plate this season. About 17 plate appearances in, he wasn't having much success. And it was interesting because Pablo Sandoval and Gregor Blanco noticed something in the dugout. And they said, why don't you try loading your hands higher? Because we noticed that earlier in your career you had more success doing that. And lo and behold, he did it and hit a home run in his next at-bat. It was so interesting, Brandon telling me, yes, normally you hear that kind of thing from a manager or a hitting coach, but because you have veteran leadership on this team, you end up getting that kind of advice that can really change your swing. And he really appreciates that. And he said that's really what the core of this team is all about.
Thanks, Alexa. He's hitting .444 this month. I know it's early, but things have turned around for Crawford. And on a hard bounce, that's a great play. Pedro Florimon gets the job done. He replaced Kingery at shortstop, and he was on the right side of the infield.
Did I say that Florimon has soft hands? A good swing there by Crawford. Nice load. But look at these soft hands by Flo, as Gabe Kapler likes to call him.
The ball was 105 miles per hour off the bat. I think my favorite part of our conversation with Gabe Kapler this morning was about exit velocity. Because how often do we say, wow, man, you hit that ball hard, 105 miles per hour, good at bat. Gabe says, no, not good at bat. Get that baseball in the air. A hard hit ball into a glove doesn't do much. Agree?
Yeah, and out's an out. So I understand where he's coming from. Change your approach, change your style. You saw it with Justin Turner. Changed his whole career. He went from a utility guy to a superstar just with a hand position, the change. You hear about Daniel Murphy doing that. Always all about launch angle and things like that. But you know, for the kids at home, I think just being able to square up a ball first. Don't worry about the launch angle stuff yet. Learn how to develop a good swing and then make adjustments from there. Joey Votto had a whole thing in spring training about it.
It was awesome.
Let the ball tell you what you're doing.
Two-1 to Longoria. James, by the way, on our conversation about 3,000 hits, said he thinks Trout's the only player that's playing now that's going to get to 3,000. Okay.
It is a big number. Pools ever get you?
No,
never faced him.
I kept him in the yard.
Did you?
Yeah, 1 for 5 with a double. We looked it up a couple days ago.
I was like, do you know all these stats off the top of your head?
Yeah. I wanted to know how many of those were mine. I definitely remember him absolutely smashing the ball off the wall in St. Louis.
John, Miggy will make 3,000, so should Cano. I'm with you. We're all with you. Clean sweep here in the booth. The 4 we showed, we believe in. They all have the hit tool, those 4.
Yeah. Remember hanging on the cage with Brad Ausmus, who's former manager of the Tigers, a couple years ago in spring training, and I literally just went out to watch Miggy take BP. And I told Brad, I said, you know, Brad, I could watch Miggy take batting practice all day long. He said, well, when you're 6'5", 260 pounds, and you have a perfect swing, he goes, You're going to be a good hitter.
It's all working out for him. Cabrera currently on the disabled list. 3-2. There's 3 fielders on the left side, so it's hard to get it past the infield if you pull it. And Longoria hits into the shift. And the Giants are retired in the 8th. So we'll head to the bottom of the inning. It's Phillies 6, Giants 3. Now some clouds mixed in, but turned into a nice day. So we move to the bottom of the 8th inning. It's Franco, Kingery. Well, not actually, it should be a pinch hitter. Kingery is removed, so Nick Williams on deck. And then Alfaro. And final chance for the Giants in the top of the 9th. We should see Belt, Hundley, and Sandoval, although Bruce Bochy has quite a bench this afternoon. Andrew McCutchen, Buster Posey, and Austin Jackson. And this is Hunter Strickland. Closer for the Giants this season, just getting some work in. To center, and that's Hansen. Down goes Franco, and here comes Nick Williams. Hector Neris getting warm for the Phillies. I love how Phillies fans the other day were booing when Tommy Hunter was taken out of the game. What was that, Monday? He faced, I believe it was Belt.
I believe it was Tuesday.
Was it Tuesday?
Yeah.
I think it was Belt that he faced because Kapler said he loved the matchup. And then he had it all along planned in his mind that he would go Neris for the final 2 batters. And the way he scripted it worked out.
Right. Don't miss that.
Ooh. smell good. Into center field, and that's going to fall. Base hit, Nick Williams.
And he has been so good for them off the bench. I know Nick wants some more playing time, and rightfully so. Everybody wants to play. But he has really been a weapon for the Phillies off the bench.
That's a tough role for a young player.
It sure is. But if anyone can do it, it'd be Nick, because of his aggressiveness. He's not going up there to, to see a pitch or two. And he's a good aggressive swing right here. Good pitch to hit, too.
He's 3 for 9 in the series. And this is Alfaro. Looking for his first hit of the day. This is what the Phillies have in their cupboard for a long time. Club control of Hernandez, Herrera, Franco. And then you get into 2023 for Hoskins, Alfaro, Crawford, and Williams. And Scott Kingery signed the extension in spring training, so he'll be with the Philadelphia Phillies for a long time. That's a lot of competition for Nick Williams.
It is, but he's been up to it. He's been up to the task. And he's a bit frustrated because last year he got caught up and he's pretty much playing every day.
Alfaro down on strike, second time that he has struck out. Well, Alfaro is pretty much playing every day now as Florimon steps up. And Gabe Kapler told us this morning that he has earned his playing time with his defense, specifically his pitch framing, which we've spoken to him about many times this season already. He said he used to be stabbing at it, and now it's graceful.
He's definitely gotten better in that department, and they have worked tirelessly with him on that.
They caught many strike 3 pitches from Vince Velasquez today. 12 of them from the Philly starter. Florimon tripled back in the 7th. Brought in by Herrera. Are you surprised about the momentum swing? So the Giants were so good coming off the weekend, sweeping the Braves. And for the Phillies, would you call it their toughest loss of the season on Sunday, with the bullpen letting it up against the Nationals in a game where if they won, they would have been in first place, the deepest into a season since 2011?
I wouldn't say it was their toughest loss, but I'd say it's in their top 3. I think a lot of guys were ticked off about it. They were really upset about the way that went down, because you get Scherzer out of the game, and how great he was down there. But I think they just had a little chip on their shoulder when they go into the series, and they've literally done everything well in this series so far. I know they still have the top of the 9th to play. Hopefully they can shut this down. But look at the way they did it today, Scott. I mean, talk about flipping the switch. I mean, this was all Giants, all tie block for the first couple innings, for 3 innings. And then the 4th came around, leadoff walk, and then things just snowballed. Put up that 4 spot.
32 runs for the Phillies in this series and just 8 for San Francisco. They've been knocking out their starter early every day. Full count to Florimon. You know what I was wondering when I was reading about Hunter Strickland, doing a little homework yesterday? You know how he's had all the beef with Bryce Harper?
Right.
So Harper's going to be a free agent. I'll ask this to Giants fans as they're talking to Javi Lopez. And hello to JJ from the Netherlands. So, would Harper sign with the Giants and team up with Hunter Strickland? Giants fans, what do you think?
Money's going to talk. Whatever truck that they would have to pay Bryce Harper, better make it 2 trucks.
Although remember, David Ortiz and David Price had a thing going on for a while, and then Price followed some big green bills and went up to Boston.
He's on the DL again.
Yeah, carpal tunnel. Runner was moving.
They say big.
And Florimone works a walk. 2 plate appearances, 2 walks. You don't see this often. The 9-hole for the Phillies today. Velasquez, 2 singles. Florimone, triple walk. That's nice production from the last man in the order.
It sure is. And that's one thing about this series in particular. It's not just the top of the lineup doing something or the middle. It's the bottom has been doing a ton. They're getting production from everybody.
Kyle and Phil both saying no Harper, please. Thomas says yes.
Why would you not want him?
If you're not paying for him, yeah, why not? Russell, great addition. Preet thinks he's going to the Dodgers.
You wonder how much, I know money is, how much money do you really need? But if other factors play into it, you know, climate, family, family living conditions, is you really want to go to a big city? Do you want to go to a place that's family friendly?
He's from Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So West Coast would not surprise me. It's 0-2 to Hernandez. Cesar actually has a 17-game on-base streak going right now. A lot of the top on-base streaks in baseball currently are from players in this series. Number 2 is Brandon Belt. Although Belt's is about to expire if he doesn't grab a hit or a walk.
He's going to lead
in the
off.
9th.
He's
Yeah.
going to lead off.
There's Belt in left field again today. I like how Javi said, yeah, he'll go there reluctantly. And he played with him, so that's some inside info. Good breaking pitch from Strickland. And Hernandez goes down. So do the Phillies. We're done with 8 innings. It is 6-3. And Javi Lopez coming back in a moment. And Hector Neris coming on to close out the game for Philadelphia. Going for a 4-game Know what you think. He's facing Belt, Hundley, and Sandoval with a 3-run cushion. And that big shift against Brandon Belt with his 21 game on base streak on the line. Brent said Neris is like watching Mitch Williams pitch. Get the heart rate going a little bit. Is this who you would pick for the 9th right now?
That's a very good question. Right now, I think he's so accustomed to the role. Yeah, I think I'd stick with him. I don't know how long a leash I'd give him, to be honest with you. Obviously, what he did on Sunday in Washington was a heartbreaker. But he's allowed one. But I think the leash, if I were managing, it would be short.
So Jessica said give Neris 1 batter, and if he walks him, take him out. Does everyone agree? And he gets Bell.
We're trying to get Javi's mic open.
That's right. Nobody needs to hear that.
There you are. So Belt goes down, and that'll bring up Hundley.
I had gold there. I had a bunch of gold, and I just.
Well, let's hear it again.
It's gone
Scott,
now.
repeat the question.
Nope, we lost. The moment's gone. The moment's gone. I think, to summarize, if he's going to be your closer, you got to put him in these spots. You got to get him comfortable in this zone. If he's not the guy, then you got to figure it out. But you got to give him confidence, and this is. He came in and got 2 big outs to finish out the game a couple days ago, and give him a chance.
Yeah, it worked on Tuesday after Hunter got the strikeout. Dennis said time for Kapler to use 9 pitchers in the 9th.
Well, he's got no lefties in the pen, so that's something you don't see every day. So
that's right. Zach Curtis was optioned. Jake Thompson brought up. Ian said he's had his struggles, but he should be able to hold a 3-run lead. Gabe has confidence in him.
I mean, you've seen this bullpen over the last 4 games. It's a lot of those guys could take it and run with it in the closer's role.
It's explosive, no doubt.
James says he wants Neshek in there when he returns. Although he suffered a setback the other day. And nice backhanded stop by Hernandez.
See, these shifts.
Frustrating to watch.
Hit the ball hard up the middle, right? That's what we were always told as kids. That's what Hundley just did.
That's some fancy footwork by
And he's out.
Neris. I think. How'd that miss him?
He's elusive.
You're right. Jeez, nice play.
Well, the spray chart says that's where the baseball goes.
I mean, this bullpen continues to play and pitch at a high level.
Now it's Sandoval. Chase says, who would be better than Neris?
I think what we're seeing out of Dominguez, he's got closer stuff. Adam Morgan has closer stuff. He's a lefty, but he can get lefties in, righties out.
Yeah, Rich says he'd like to see Dominguez as the closer of the future. The 0-2 is upstairs. This is a tough out. Sandoval 2 for 3 this afternoon. The Phillies going for 4 straight wins against the Giants, and they have it. 6-3 your final score. Neris strikes out 2 of the 3 that he faces. He sits down the Giants in order. And Philadelphia is tied for first place with Atlanta at this very moment. At 22-15, they've won 4 in a row.
What a job. And this could have really taken a turn for the worse for the Phillies. The fact that after 2 innings, it's 3-0. And Vince Velasquez, we've seen him in years past kind of start to implode a little bit. But he held it together. He stayed the course, and he was awesome. Just awesome.
So Vince Velasquez is going to join us as soon as he finishes his high fives. He's going to be on MLB Live on Facebook Watch answering your questions. So stick around. If you have questions for Vince Velasquez, fire away. So 12 strikeouts for Velasquez over 6 innings. Gave up the 3 runs early against Blanco and Hansen, and then a lot of whiffing.
You're looking at right there, finishing through the target, getting the tumble on that breaking ball. I still feel like when he gave up the runs early, Ben had pointed out the stats of what the guys are doing early, but after that home run that he gave up to Hansen, he got a little, I'd like to say he just got pissed. That's it. He got mad. He got angry, and then you saw the strikeouts come. He was getting a lot of them. And I think at the end of that inning, he started getting ahead of guys. He had gone 9 straight, getting ahead of batters, and really just found his groove. And when you got the stuff that he's got and you're working ahead in the count, and you're facing a team that is just not seeing the ball very well and striking and wailing at a lot of stuff, it's a recipe for success, and he was able to find it today.
12 Ks, second most of his career, 5th double-digit strikeout game. Also, someone asked, are the Braves playing tonight? Yes, they are. They're in Miami. So Philly might either be alone at first place in the NL East, or they'll be bumped back to second place. Get those questions in for Vince Velasquez. He's joining us any moment now on MLB Live on Facebook Watch.
That was an incredible series for the Phillies pitching, as far as I'm concerned. When you can go 12 punchies, 17 punchies, 11 punchies, 15 punchies off a team that swept a very good Braves team.
They hit 379 as a team, I believe, in Atlanta. Wasn't it 379?
Yep. Hitting with runners in scoring positions, creating opportunities, taking advantage of those. It just looked like a totally different team here.
This was as dominant a performance by one team over another team in a 4-game series I've seen in a while. I mean, that was unbelievable. And like you said, Avi, I mean, the Giants came in, they were playing really good baseball.
Yeah.
That's what makes this game so great.
55 times the Giants struck out in this series. That is a record for a 4-game set for them. And Vince Velasquez with a big performance for the Phillies this afternoon. 6-3 winners, and there he is, all settled in. Vince, thanks for joining us. Congratulations on the performance. I have some questions coming in from everyone on Facebook.
Thank you, thank you.
Let's start with Greg. How were you able to keep your composure after those first couple innings?
You know, it was just a mental thing. You know, sitting down with Jake and Tommy Hunter, you know, through the struggles that I've had the past, you know, few outings that I've had. It was just one of those things you got to kind of find within yourself. It's a comfort zone, but you know, you can't, if you lose it mentally, then you're out of whack. But I mean, other than that, I mean, it was just one of those things today where I was just pretty much just locked in. You know, gave up two you know, a solo jack, deleted off, and then you know, executed a well-located pitch inside of Hansen, and he just turned on it. But it was just one of those things where, you know, you got to tip your cap off to him, and then just keep working, keep grinding.
Robert said your breaking ball was really working today. When you're getting that over and getting ahead, do you feel like you can strike out anyone?
You know, that's one of the pitches where it kind of gets me back into the zone. You know, pitching off the curveball, utilizing the secondary pitches, which was my slider and my changeup. You know, I haven't used my changeup as frequent as I want to, but you know, it's a big pitch, and you know, I think it's. I don't want to say I could get them out, but I know it's something that could really set them up to finish them off. And you know, I'm a powerful pitcher, and you know, I like throwing my fastball as much as, you know, even if I do get lit up sometimes. But I still throw that pitch with conviction, and I want to go after you guys, or go after those guys.
Javi has a question for you from Kristen.
I believe it says, Can you pinch hit?
Yeah, he was like, is that real? But yeah, I mean, what a year for you. 6 for 13 at the plate.
You're smoking the ball.
Yeah,
you're not getting the launch angle that we're looking for.
You know, in batting practice when we're out here, a couple rounds I go for that. You know, I swing for the fences, go even the upper deck sometimes. But you know, it's just trying to just put the bat on the ball. Sure. You know, even in high school when I was swinging, I never really was a home run hitter. I only had 2 home runs all year. You know, all 4 years in high school. And I asked myself, I was like, what are you doing trying to hit home runs? So, I'm just going to try to help myself out, try to get on base. And, I'm fast on the base pass, and I like moving around. Even I tried to take a stolen base there at second base. You see that?
I saw that.
I was being a little jumpy there. I was a little excited. But, you got to put pressure on the pitcher sometimes. And, they put pressure on me. It's just the way how baseball works. But, again, I was just trying to get myself on. 2 strikes, start shoring up, and just put a ball in play.
Vince, Kerry wants to know, how can you build on this performance? Keep utilizing my secondary pitches. I worked on that all bullpens and flat grounds and everything that we have. It's just a consistent pitch to utilize, curveball and slider just makes everything more effective. It's a learning process. You still learn things every day. I mean, every day as you go, a lot of obstacles are thrown at you, and you got to learn how to adapt every day. Whether, conditions, everything comes into an aspect. But again, it's just one of these days where I, tip my cap off, and the teammates, the offense did a great job today. I had to pretty much put my foot down after giving up that 3rd run and knowing that, trusting my offense to come and help me out. But, you just build off of this, and that's just pretty much just work, and, going back to the, video film that we have, and keep working.
Vince, thanks so much for the time. Let's finish with this one. Kevin says, how much are you loving the powder blues on Thursdays?
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, Jake looked pretty good in it, and I loved it actually today. First time wearing the blue ones, and hopefully we get some. We can wear it more often, actually, maybe next year or something.
Yeah, we're loving them. The fans love them. Vince, congratulations again, and good luck the rest of the way. Great having you on.
Thank you, guys.
Great job, Vince.
Thanks for having me.
Vince Velasquez with 6 innings of 3-run ball and 12 strikeouts. What a powerful, dominant series for the Phillies. We'll do this again next week on Wednesday. MLB Live on Facebook Watch. The Rangers are in Seattle taking on the Mariners. For Alexa Dat, Ben Davis, Javi Lopez, I'm Scott Braun. Thanks so much for being with us here on MLB Live on Facebook Watch. So follow me at Scott Braun on Instagram right now and click live. We are going live in the next 10 seconds to answer any questions we didn't get to. Thanks so much for joining us on this Thursday afternoon on MLB Live on Facebook Watch.